Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this special edition of Inside Sports. This is our Stanley Cup Round 1 update. The Los Angeles Kings and the Vancouver Canucks. Here at Inside Sports, we are changing the world one sport at a time. You can Twitter follow at The Inside Sports. And here we are in the Inside Sports studios. I'm Charles E. Smith Jr. So this seemed to be the matchup that, well, none of the Kings fans wanted, although the Kings themselves seemed a little bit more confident about it. The Los Angeles Kings, the number 8 seed in the West, against the number 1 seed and President's Trophy winning for the second year in a row, Vancouver Canucks. And that was going to start out in Vancouver. Obviously, they had home ice advantage, but you know, the absence of Daniel Sedin and also inspired play by the Kings. Remember, the Kings finished out the season 13-5-3 after the acquisition of Jeff Carter. So let's go ahead to the Game 1 highlights. The Kings would win this game 4-2, and let's go ahead and check out some of the action here. So from Vancouver, now the first period, the Kings were putting on plenty of pressure. In fact, they outshot the Canucks, but it would ultimately be the Canucks getting on the board first. There's a little bit of interference by Ryan Kesler. It's not called, so Alexander Burrows capitalizes at 4:17 of the first period to give the Canucks the lead 1-0. But, and there's a little ice shower by Kesler afterwards, maybe a little ill-advised penalty, and the Kings would go ahead and capitalize on the play. It would be Mike Richards. He's going to ultimately, look at this, just a little bit of a quick shot on Luongo. Looks like he's going to pass and then just snaps it straight through the pads of Luongo, far side. So now it's 1-1 at the end of the first period. A power play in the second period, and it's going to be from the point. After some great saves there by Jonathan Quick. And there you see the scrum, and this is the turning moment here. That was Byron Bitts going high to the head. A 5-minute major, that was to the head of Kyle Clifford. And now here is going to be the power play goal. It goes out to the point, and that's Chilly Willie Mitchell. Lofts the puck over the shoulder of Roberto Luongo. Bitts would receive a 2-game suspension from the league, and the game goes on. The next goal, however, would belong to Alexander Edler. The Kings should have taken a change late in the second period. They were tired, got an icing call, and, well, that's one that Daryl Sutter is going to have to think about a little bit. I should have called that timeout. 2-2 going into the third, though, and the Kings still in good shape. Jonathan Quick still on his game, and then it's the wizardry of Mike Richards. The great pass over to his buddy Jeff Carter, the skate pass, a pass right off his skate to Dustin Penner, who taps into that empty net. That gives the Kings the 3-2 lead. And then it was just a formality here. Dustin Brown with the game winner, and that makes the score 4-2 on that empty net goal by Dustin Brown. So coming back, we recap, and one of the things that they wanted to do here was, you know, they did get the power play goals, but you got to look at the 5-on-5 play. And we're going to go ahead to the interviews post-game, talk to Dustin Penner, talk to Drew Doughty, and then hear what Coach Daryl Sutter has to say about this game as well, this Game 1 victory. This is footage all courtesy of NHL Network.
Yeah, we came out strong. We knew it was going to be a tough game. We knew they were going to come out hitting. And, you know, we were pretty well prepared here. We did a lot of video, and we're a really focused group right now. You know, our fortune is one of the things that we really pride ourselves on. We want to make sure. It was awesome that it paid off in the end there.
Well, we prefer to play 5-on-5, right? The best way to play is against a team with that much power is
Okay, apparently had a little bit of audio problems there, but what Daryl Sutter was talking about there was the need to score more goals 5-on-5, because, you know, they got the power play goals, but really when you look at the 5-on-5 goals, they did wind up with 2 power play goals, but really you want to outplay the team 5-on-5. That's kind of the way Daryl Sutter thinks, regardless of the victory. It's what are the little things they can do to improve their game. And when we look at Game 2, what happens? The Kings come out And, Vancouver played a spirited game in Game 2, outshooting the Kings. In fact, in the second period, it was 15-6. In the third period, outshot them 23-9. Outshot the Kings a total of 48-26 total in that Game 2. But the Kings, again, come away with a victory, 4-2. And that was courtesy of 2 shorthanded goals within a span of about 6 minutes by Dustin Brown. The first one coming at 19:51 of the first period. Then Vancouver ties the game up early in the second, and then the second shorthanded goal coming at 5:17 of the second period. And now as the series, we look at it as moving to Staples Center. The Kings have outscored the Canucks 8-4, winning each game 4-2. Now they go to Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles. Having scored 5 of their 8 goals have come on special teams in one way or another. They've had 3 power play goals. They have 2 shorthanded goals. Now the Vancouver Canucks did put a lot of rubber on the Kings in that game too. They outshot the Kings 48-26. However, remember this X factor that the Kings have in net, and that is none other than that man in the mist right there, Jonathan Quick. What can you say about Jonathan Quick? I mean, during the regular season, .929 save percentage, 10 shutouts, a goals against average of 1.95. And now that's just continuing here in the playoffs. Jonathan Quick with a save percentage of .946%. So everybody who didn't want this matchup in Los Angeles, they're now looking more favorably upon that. The only thing the Vancouver Canucks can take away from this, I would think, is the fact that, the Kings, they've outscored the Kings 2-1 in even strength goals. But the Kings are killing them on special teams. Vancouver 0 for 10 on the power play so far. And tonight, it'll be Sunday night, 7:30 start at Staples Center. Is going to be absolutely crazy in downtown Los Angeles. And then Wednesday night will be Game 4, also at Staples Center. The Kings have got the Vancouver Canucks exactly where they want them. If this were MMA or Ultimate Fighting, they would be about ready to tap out right now. The Kings, if they can take Game 3, they will put the Vancouver Canucks in a completely unenviable position. As it is now, the Vancouver Canucks have to take 4 of the next 5 games, and 2 of those games they're going to have to take in downtown Los Angeles at Staples Center. So tonight, that's going to be the Los Angeles Kings against the Vancouver Canucks. The Kings seem to have all the momentum, and Daniel Sedin, the fantastic goal scorer for the Vancouver Canucks, did not play in the first 2 games because of the concussion symptoms. Now, from what I understand, he did not even make the trip out here to Los Angeles, so I'd say his return for this series is, questionable, doubtful at best. So we're going to have to see what happens there. That's a huge loss for the Vancouver Canucks. But, playoffs, it happens. Guys get injured. That's just part of the game. But the Vancouver Canucks, you got to look at, maybe they want to think about changing their style of play a little bit. If we look back at the Stanley Cup final last year, this is exactly what got them in trouble against the Bruins, was trying to prove that they're just a tougher team than they really are. They win the first 2 games, but they try to get rough. Ryan Kessler winds up getting injured. They wind up losing a couple of defensemen. They were the walking wounded by the end of the series. They got outscored 21-4 in the last 5 games of that series. And now we come forward to this season. Daniel Sedin is out because of something that happened a couple of weeks ago against Duncan Keith of the Blackhawks. It's a regular season game. Daniel Sedin got a little bit rough, tried to hit Duncan Keith a little bit high. Yes, it was a clean hit, but he did initiate. Duncan Keith comes back, retaliates with an elbow to the head of Daniel Sedin. 5-game suspension for Duncan Keith. However, Daniel Sedin has not played since that game, thus hurting the team again. And then we saw in Game 1, Byron Bitts, going high to the head of Kyle Clifford. He's out. He gets a 2-game suspension. Clifford is out now. I do not know if he's going to play in Los Angeles or not. But that's the Canucks just shooting themselves in the foot when they try to play the tough guy role. They are a finesse team. That's the way it is. Not a bad thing. That's just how they play. That's the game they really need to stick to. So down 2-0, the Kings have all the momentum, and we got to look at the way this team was built. The team was built for a series like this. Strong up the middle. You got Mike Richards on top of his game. You got Anze Kopitar on top of his game as well. The Kings are built for this. Strong on the blue line, and as I said before, we all know about Jonathan Quick in the net for the Los Angeles Kings. So I hope you enjoyed this special report here. Let's go ahead and give thanks to our sponsor, thepuckshopshere.com. Discount hockey gear available online. The best prices you'll find anywhere. Free shipping on all orders over $75. And, of course, if you enter the promo code Inside Sports upon checkout, you'll receive an additional 10% discount. Here at Inside Sports, we are changing the world one sport at a time. You can Twitter follow at The Inside Sports. So everybody, thank you for joining us. I'm Charles E. Smith Jr., and this is a special production of Inside Sports, and we will see you next time. Keep an eye out for a regular series, Talkin' Hockey, with yours truly and Lonnie Schwartz of Hockey54.com. And that's all for now. The Kings lead that series against the Vancouver.